We continue our tour of the soon-to-be reopened Fulton Street with Craig Scharton with the Downtown Fresno Partnership. And we are at what could be called the heart of Fulton and the city, the Pacific Southwest Building.
It's the anchor building of the Central Valley. And if the Central Valley were a clock, this is the center of it. Before Freeway 41, you drove into downtown on Blackstone. It sits right in the middle. When you came back from the coast on 41, the old 41, this sat right in the middle. It really is at the
tallest building in town?
Well, it's debatable, but it's either this or the Del Webb or County Plaza building, but they're close. Gorgeous. Yeah, it's got the best design. You can really see that there's a lot of money put into it at the time. They're doing work on it right now. They've got some upstairs lofts with some really gorgeous views. There's a waiting list for those. A really great hair salon in there. So it's another building that's been active. It never was emptied out. And so just shows that, it's hard to get things going once they just come to a complete stop.
Now, how much occupied is it right now?
Well, let's see. The second floor is the loft salon. The third floor is called Workspace. It's a really beautiful co-working space. A lot of tech companies and creative, professional kind of folks. There are a few floors of office. They're working on these next two floors for housing, and then they have 4 other floors for housing. And they're working on a permit for the top 2 floors for a restaurant bar.
As we move down, we come across the recently shuttered Payless shoe store.
The Payless shoe source went out of business nationally, and we have 2 restaurants that are going to be moving into that space. So it's showing that there's starting to be more demand as people see this project coming closer to completion. I think there was a lot of hesitancy because these projects are so big and complicated that it's hard to know exactly when the completion is going to be, and no one wants to come in so early that they've got 6 months of construction in front of them when they get started.
It's like then you're kind of banking on that you're going to have a lot of interest once all the construction goes away, that all these vacant signs that we've seen, they're going to fill up pretty quickly. There's going to be a lot of development.
I wouldn't say pretty quickly. I don't know how Fresno will do it. There were 189 pedestrian malls in the country. We were the second. By the time we started looking at this question about what to do with Fulton Mall, 175 had been removed. So 92.5% were already gone. So then I say we'd have to make a rational decision. Did they take them out because they were overly successful or under-successful, right? We'll make a guess and say they underperformed. So 175 put their main street back in. Now we could say maybe they got worse, maybe they got better. What happened? 90% of those 175 revitalized in the first 4 years. All of them have seen upgrowth, but 90% that quickly. Now we still might be in the 10% category. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. But I can tell you, if you're a rational, data-driven person, that the clear, logical conclusion is pedestrian malls failed. They've been removed almost completely. And that when they were removed and the street went back in, they turned around in very short time frame, right? So if you know that data, then...
Is that 4-year mark a fair expectation? I mean, I guess it'd be...
For 90%. It's up to us, right? I can't make it happen. You can't make it happen. I could do my part to make it happen, right? So when we have 10 restaurants open at night, I can make sure and use my Facebook page and Downtown Fresno Partnership's Facebook page to promote them. I can make sure and go spend my money there and try to encourage my friends to do that. This becomes a community thing. We're lazy. We want developers to do it, and we want the city to do it, and that is wrong. It is the community. So if the community wants to be a 4-year turnaround, it's up to the community to say, I'm going to commit part of my resources to this.
In our next installment, I asked Craig what's on the mind of everyone. Where are people going to park? Where are the cars going to go? David Taub, GV Wire.